What's up? Welcome to a special episode of 49ers Coast to Coast. We got boots on the ground, everyone. Jason Aponte is in Indianapolis while I'm chilling in my bedroom. How is Indianapolis?
Indianapolis is actually more fun than I believed it would be,
That's what
but
people
we're not.
say.
Yeah, we're not here for that. But yeah, I mean, all the other stuff has been really good. But yeah, I was shocked. The downtown area was actually pretty popping last night.
It's all supposed to be kind of centrally located and surprisingly fun for the Midwest. Nothing against the Midwest. I'm just saying it's like supposed to be a lot better than Cincinnati. And I like Cincinnati a little bit. So anyway,
Yeah,
what I
I
want
mean,
to talk about is
Skyline
who are
Chill is
your
mid.
who are your combine standouts so far? Who are people that are sort of on your radar now?
Well, right now, I mean, basically everything that's happening is just all tight ends. So Trey McBride definitely stood out. Connor Hayward is somebody who was in Michigan State. He did a great job in the Senior Bowl in terms of running routes, and he converted from a fullback to a tight end. So the reason that I'm mentioning, Trey McBride is going to be out of the 49ers' reach. But a guy like Connor Hayward, there's some other guys that are sleepers. It seems like the 49ers are going to be on their way to picking a second tight end, whether that's a pass catching tight end, because we know that Charlie Warner is largely going to be used for blocking. I think it's interesting to watch all these guys and just try to figure out where they fit here. So Connor Hayward is somebody who I thought really has a good shot at being there for the 49ers if they do decide to go another tight end.
Tell me about Trey McBride because I'm going to be petitioning for the 49ers to trade George Kittle all offseason, or at least, yeah, all offseason. And if they do it before the draft, which they probably can't because of that big dead cap hit, but if they did do it before the draft, they could probably get Trey McBride. Tell me about Trey McBride.
He's a baller, man. I mean, and it's funny that you bring up. I mean, I'm not on the George Kittle thing. Let's
It's
just
okay.
say I'm
I'm
not.
right by
I'm
myself. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not with that. But it's funny because he was asked in his press conference, who does he comp himself to, and he said George Kittle, and yeah, he said that the dynamic of blocking everything. He's a big, strong, fast guy, and I think that he fits very well. Got a chance to talk with him at the Senior Bowl for a little bit, and I asked him, what would you think about coming to the 49ers? He said he would love to. So now that kind of goes with what he was talking about when he mentioned George Kittle, and then Jordan asked him a question about what it is that he models himself in the game on. He talked about blocking. He talked about all of those things. So Trey McBride is just somebody who's going to be heavily sought after, a little bit higher up. He definitely won't be there at 61 for the 49ers.
Would you trade Kittle for Trey McBride straight up?
I would not.
Okay, I was just asking. I don't know. I don't even. I've never
No,
seen Trey McBride play.
no.
One dude I have seen play is the number 2 rated tight end I'm seeing on CBS, Jalen Weidermeier. Because as you know, I watched a whole lot of Texas A&M last year. Because Kellen
Yeah.
Mond, we felt. I mean, I felt for him. I don't know how he feels about me. What do you think? I thought Weidermeier was his number 1 guy. Pretty good receiver. What do you think?
Yeah, he was fine today. I mean, I feel like a lot of the tight ends, nobody really did anything to really decrease their stock in any way. Isaiah Likely showed up a little bit here too, made some nice catches. But yeah, it's like there's tiers and there's hierarchy, right? So it's like Trey McBride, the other guys, the kid from UCLA, and then it's just like there's other guys there, and then it all depends on where you're going to be drafting and what the need exactly is, and then you figure out where those guys land.
What do you think of the dude from UCLA? I saw him in person against
He's
Stanford,
good.
and he's pretty good actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's good.
they targeted him a lot.
I've got McBride over him, but he's close. He's real close. I think he's
Is
that
he
good.
rising?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Got it. I'm looking at
Yeah.
CBS's rankings, and really, I feel like until after the combine, it's not that correct. I'm looking at one more person. Ohio State's Jeremy Ruckert. One of my writers on SI, CJ Erickson, wrote about him and said he's one of these like really good athletes who just didn't get targeted very much at Ohio State. Terry McLaurin was like that. Michael
Right.
Thomas was like that. What do you think of this guy?
You literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it about Ohio State wide receivers and pass catchers that they remain underutilized, and that's been the book on him the entire time. And I think that's why McLaurin fell as far as he did. Is just because people didn't see the production. But I agree with that assessment wholeheartedly.
All right. Could we talk about center? Because it's either going to be a need this year or next year. So this is something they should be looking at right now, probably with that 2nd round pick or the 3rd round pick. And last time we spoke, not last time we spoke, but when you were at Mobile, remember, Jason was at Mobile too. He's not messing around. You were mentioning centers that I'd never heard of. My eyes glazed over, but I'm looking now. Cole Strange, you that's someone you talked about. Is his stock rising?
I mean, we're going to see because tomorrow he's going to be one of the ones that actually gets to work out today. It's only going to be tight ends, wide receivers, and quarterbacks. So we're going to see what he does tomorrow. But, also some of the stuff that we found out over there was the 49ers asked him to take snaps at center in Mobile.
Boom.
So,
Boom. That seems fairly significant, right?
yes.
So hold on. Just the fact that they're asking people to take snaps at center probably means that this is on their mind. And the fact that they said that Alex Mack is leaning towards playing means that they don't know.
Right. And that's the thing is is, we all know that the best way for people to grow is to sit for a whole year. So if you do that with Cole Strange, then you have Alex Mack there. So you do that.
Okay. And that certainly worked for Aaron Banks, who's on the verge of a Pro Bowl season. Any other centers that are on your radar that you're going to be looking for in the coming days?
I believe the kid's name is Lindsley. I think that Jordan got a chance to ask him a question about that or something like that. I was moving around too much. I didn't really get a chance to talk with him, but he's somebody that's on the board. I'm sorry if I was a little bit flustered. Mina Khan just walked by, and I was trying to keep it together.
Did you keep it together? I thought you kept it together. I thought you played it cool.
I think I did too, man.
I think we created an impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, it would be somebody like that in that range with Cole Strange, I think, in my eyes, only because he talked about the intricacies of outside zone. For anybody who hasn't had a chance to listen, check out Javier's interview with him on the 4th and Goal podcast, where he talks about outside zone, how he knows the intricacies, all of those things, he fits, and we all know how vital center is to this team, because it felt like they didn't have a vital. After Weston Richburg went down, they really were just trying to had a makeshift way of doing things. So, with Alex Mack giving that stability, it's cool. Give him one more year, but you can also help Cole Strange, who's a guard, and move him over to center. So I believe that he's one of the biggest targets.
I got 3 more names that I've been told to look for, and I'm going to ask you, have you heard about them? These names are Sean Ryan, UCLA.
I have not heard. No, I haven't watched him yet.
Keep your eye out for him. Dylan Parra, Memphis.
I've heard of him. Yes, that's a very popular one. That's one that's getting a lot of buzz around here too.
Got it. And Donovan West, Arizona State.
Yep. We had a chance to talk with the running back. I forget his name. Goodness gracious! But we asked, we asked. Yes.
Okay.
What's his name, man? I mean, he scored a touchdown at Mobile. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. It's just a lot of
I'll
information.
get it for you.
But yeah, he talked about that they're both down here and that they're really tight knit and that they love what they both do and things like that. So yeah, he's somebody else who's been on everybody else's on the tip of everybody else's tongue at this point.
Okay, cool. I think this is potentially a position the Niners could spend either that 2nd round pick or their 3rd round pick on. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how the board lands. I right now have the 49ers, in the 2nd round taking somebody like an edge player or a safety at their But if those guys are not going to be there, like Arnold Ebukati, Jalen Petrie, I think Jalen Petrie should be the pick of 61. I really like him a lot. But if they're not there and they decide and they prioritize that, then that wouldn't be a mistake in my eyes. That's why I had to ask John Lynch yesterday at the press conference. That was the first question that was out there. Was what's going on with Mike McGlinchey? Like, what do you guys? Is that going to change your draft strategy in any way? Because
he didn't really answer the question, did he?
He dodged the whole draft strategy question.
Like he was he's attacking his rehab. Like, okay, how's it going?
But I said, if he's not going to be ready, how does that change your draft strategy? Because you can't just have a gaping hole at right tackle. Tom Compton's not the answer, and you invested what you invested in McGlinchey. Yeah, so
Tom Compton's going to get $10 million a year this offseason. We all know. So.
And the 49ers struck that last part of my question off the record, so it's not even there. I said,
Which means that it was the quintessential. It was the question to ask. So just repeat that again. What was the question to John? What was the question?
So the question for John was, any updates on Mike McGlinchey and how potentially, if this injury is more severe than people are letting on, how does that change your draft philosophy?
Okay, so that tells me that the Niners don't want people to think
I struck a nerve.
What that tells me is that this might be more serious than people are letting on, and this might be a draft need too. So within that vein, are there any offensive tackles that are usually that's a position that goes in round 1? Are there any late round 2, mid round 3 offensive tackles that the Niners could develop?
The one guy that I was looking at was almost like a McGlinchey clone, but he only played left tackle at North Dakota, Matt Waletzko. But he's a very tall guy, but he plays with strength and he's athletic as hell and he can get to the second level. He struggled early on with pass pro during the first few days, but he was going up against the best edge guys in the country. But he actually turned it on later on in the week, and he looks like Mike McGlinchey. Now the question becomes, I know that this isn't as easy as it all sounds, but can he play right tackle, because he took all his snaps at left tackle at North Dakota? But he looked just like Mike. He looked just like Mike, man. He did. I mean, in terms of what they like and what they valued about Mike, it was literally the same guy.
What's his name again?
Matt Waletzko.
And where did he go?
North Dakota.
Did you see him at the Senior Bowl?
Senior Bowl.
Got it. Okay. It seems to me that this is definitely center and right tackle are 2 positions that we have no idea what the Niners are thinking, and they don't want us to know. And the fact that they're being so secretive makes me feel like we know. Good job, dude. That's great journalism, man. That's Big J journalism right there, baby.
Look, man, John Lynch gets to the podium, right? Everybody, he starts saying hi. I jump right in. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting around because I got everybody. I seen how this all works. People are yelling over each other. No, man, I'm here. I'm not here to play. I'm here for you to answer a question, and I'm not going to give you some softball question or a quarterback question. Like, I'm gonna hit you where like it matters.
I'm so proud of you.
I knew Grant would be proud.
I freaking love you. All right, great. Okay, but you said something earlier about Jalen. What's his name?
Jalen Petrie from Baylor.
Jalen Petrie, and you said they should take him with the second round pick. Very definitive. Tell me about him and why he's the one.
I would love him at 61. I mean, he's silky smooth in coverage. He plays up and close to the line. He's very much like Tart in the way that he's flexible in what he can do. But for the people who have problems and issues with Tart, he actually turns the ball over quite a bit. He's a playmaker. He has 18 and a half tackles for loss. So he's a guy that's flying around. He's a baller, man. Jalen Petrie he's a plug and play guy, and he would start over Hufanga immediately. Like not even like a second thought. He's better than Hufanga in coverage right now, and he hasn't taken a snap in the NFL.
I'm sold. Now, the thing about it is, again, I'm looking at CBS, and this is probably all going to be really outdated in like a week, but currently they have him at 34. Put no stock into that. But, I mean, they must like him too. It's not necessarily a given he'll be there at 61, or what are you hearing?
I mean, I think he'll be around at 61. It just depends. Okay. Everything's changing right now, and it's fluid, right? And now you have to remember all of these people that are here looking for quarterbacks, whether in free agency or in the draft, that's going to change the way things move. So, we had a chance to talk with the Denver general manager. He was first. And we asked him, what are you guys going to do? What's the plan at quarterback? And he says, we're going to be aggressive in free agency and in the draft. So they didn't really give anything away, but that's one of the teams that they're going to be looking to replace somebody. Cleveland got asked questions. We asked the Washington people, Pittsburgh. So there's all these teams right now. You don't know what's going to happen with them. And if they do identify a guy, then they move up to get him, or they stand with somebody in free agency. So a lot of that has to do with where guys are going to go and how this draft order is going to shake out. Right now, doing mocks right now are fun. They're fun exercises, but we have no idea. And that's why you keep doing mocks week after week, is because the circumstances change.
Yeah, it's like moving targets. You kind of have an idea who you want, but each player's stock fluctuates in a weird way. It's like he hasn't played any games, but all of a sudden the stock is up because he ran a 40. Or it's down because his hands are small. Hey, yo, Kenny Pickett. That's rough. I just want to say, though, that my hands are legitimately like sub 8. Like, I have the littlest hands of all time. So I'm not going to talk about Kenny Pickett, but that must have been a rough day. He probably saw it coming, too. Like, this is going to suck.
Well, he didn't get measured at the Senior Bowl, and he did that for a good reason, right? Like, he didn't want the discussion. They were calling it hand gate like the entire time that we were there. But it's funny.
Kenny, I feel your pain. I'm like 7 1/4.
It's funny because Joe Burrow had a tweet that said, apparently I'm never going to be able to play football because the ball's just going to be sliding out of my hand. And look, he made the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think that's a little bit – I mean, it's a concern. And then when people are like –
well, you wonder why he wears those gloves, right? Boom.
Right. Yeah. And then they're like, how's he going to throw the ball in cold weather? He played a pit. Should be all right.
Good point.
Should be all right. Yeah,
it should be all right. Hey, he gives me if he plays quarterback in the NFL, I'm going to give it a shot. I think that's the only thing holding me back.
Grant, I think that right now, I don't think there's many things that you can't accomplish at this point. And I'm gonna go walk up on Rappaport right now and go like hear about him real quick. Yeah, like I'm gonna be like, hey man, what are you hearing about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Let me ask you something about DJ Reed. Now I get in trouble when I interpret cryptic things on social media, so I won't do it. I won't do it. But DJ Reed said everything goes full circle. Everyone's thinking the same thing. I'm not allowed to say it. Can you tell me if this is what I think it is? Is he coming back to the Niners?
I mean, the 49ers would be foolish to not at least entertain the idea. So yeah. I don't know if he's necessarily going to come back or if that's what that's about, but the 49ers would be foolish to not take a chance on him. And I think a lot of people forget how DJ Reed moved on from the team. The 49ers weren't trying to move away from him. They were trying to stash him on the practice squad and then IR, and then they were like, we can just wave him underneath the wire and nobody's going to say anything. Mm-hmm. But you know how Seattle is. Once the 49ers let somebody go, they're like, we got to bring him in because that's all they ever do. So it was never that the 49ers didn't want him. Yeah, no, it's never that the 49ers didn't want him. It was that they were trying to be slick, and they've done it many times with other players where they waive them, they make it back to the waivers, and they put them back on the roster in a roster move. And unfortunately, Seattle swooped on it. So,
hey, run up on Ian Rappaport. Tell him he's on candid camera. Hey, you're on.
Man, he's getting some food right now, and he's sitting over there getting some napkins. And I'm gonna be like, hey man, what are you hearing about Jimmy Garoppolo?
What's the deal?
How that hot dog?
Yeah, DJ Reed, I think that really could be a target of theirs. In which case, good. I think he'd be kind of expensive, but he's a hell of a player that they wanted. I got another target for him. Rasul Douglas. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who'd be like 3 years, maybe 10, 11, 12 million, not too much, maybe less than that. He's young. He had a really good year. What do you have? 5 picks. The Niners could use a guy like that. What do you think of Rasul Douglas?
It's pretty crazy about Rasul Douglas because he was almost left on the scrap heap and people completely forgot about him. He was on the practice squad a bunch of times for the Packers and he becomes a contributor. So I
Yeah.
think that really speaks to the idea of, your scheme is good. You have great players. You can have guys who can fit in and work that way. And Rasul Douglas was an absolute find for the Packers. Now, what did he buy himself more money or did he get himself more money? Probably. But then it'll all go back to what's the philosophy? What are they willing to spend on cornerback? Are they even willing to do that? Doesn't seem like that's their MO to do that.
I agree.
And especially with the Stephon Gilmore stuff coming out, I'm just like, well, I mean, he's going to want to get paid.
Stuff.
That they're saying that Richard Sherman said on his podcast that he believes that the Stephon Gilmore is either going to be on the 49ers or Seattle this year.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's not
I
their
buried
MO.
the lead on that one. Nice.
Yeah. That's not the MO. That's not their MO though, to spend that money on that. I mean, it would be great because Stephon Gilmore would immediately jump in with a great pass rush and be fine. And diminished as he is right now at this point, still going to be the best cornerback on this team. But at the same time, it would be a philosophy change with the 49ers that I don't know if they're ready to do.
Yeah, I don't expect them to sign Rasul Douglas. I threw this out there as something like me sort of going against the Niners. My suggestion is this is a guy who young, relatively cost effective, and worth the money. They're not going to do this. So I'm just, it's like a shadow GMing right here. I'm thinking I could do a little bit better than Parag and his money ball secondary tactics. Rasul Douglas is the guy I'd like. But if they get DJ Reed, then great.
Well, all you got to do is have a computer, punch in a name, and if the computer says no, then that's it. You just can't. You just don't sign them. That's how Parag does it. So.
All right, this is our last topic today. This is a quick show. Jason is on. I mean, he's on assignment. I don't want to take up too much of his time because there's going to be a new. No, but really, this is our last topic, and we can go through it slowly. But let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. What's happening right now is really interesting. It's like, remember, Jimmy had a no trade clause in his contract. Who are you talking to?
Rapport.
What's up, Rap? Yeah. So he had a no trade clause in his contract. Him and Don Yee could control his fate a little bit, but it's gone now. But in the sense, they got it back by delaying the surgery. They clearly want to be released so he can pick his own destination. So given that's what he wants, if I were John Lynch, I wouldn't do it for him. You cannot release this man. Don't give him $7.5 million. What you do, John, is you trade him for whatever, a conditional sixth in the future. Essentially give him away. And some team like Carolina just might go for a fire sale. Oh, he's free? A sixth for Jimmy? Oh, we got to do it. And so you trade him, essentially give him away. It's just like releasing him. Trade him for a conditional sixth to Carolina and make Jimmy go play with a terrible team and be like, you try to play us by have that late surgeries? No. Now you're going to Carolina. We were going to try to send you someplace that you wanted to go, but now you get to go to Carolina. Good luck. With that face, just like this the whole time.
It's tough, Grant. Right now we're in the prime like clickbait circle, right? Like and everybody knows the best way to drum up clicks, drum up likes, drum up attention is to shake the hornet's nest that is the 49er fan base, especially when it comes to this quarterback class. So it's tough, man. I really have a hard time believing that they would release him or this is some sort of plan of his. And I think that here's my on the surface level-headed take on this. I really do believe that, he tried to work through it and he thought he would be fine. And then when he saw a doctor, they said, no, dude, you're not fine. You actually have to get surgery on it. So in that way, I don't necessarily feel like it was a plan or a plot or anything like that. It just seems to be the way the circumstances work out right now. But when you listen to how minor the surgery is going to be, he'll be back in like June. I don't really think that that's really going to change too much. I mean, I understand the whole perception and the whole thought process of, he gets released. He fails the physical. The 49ers are on the hook for $7.5 million. And then the team that he goes to doesn't have to send draft capital to acquire him, right? So they can build around him a little bit more, get some young guys, things like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like based on the answers that we got around here from the Denver GM, from the Pittsburgh GM, who basically like shut that shit down, the Jimmy Garoppolo talk. He was like, I'm not talking about that. That is tampering. Like he was upset like that was even brought up. Yeah, but with how many people are going to be looking for starting quarterbacks. And then, all right, look, so a little bit of insider stuff, the Wentz stuff here, it seems like he's done here. Like, this is it. Like, he's out, obviously, like done from what we've been hearing around here. This is a very logical spot for him. I mean, when you talk to a lot of the people that are talking about what Frank Reich wants in the offense, it's timing throws, it's getting the ball out quickly, and that's where he fits. So that's another place. So it's hard for me to believe the 49ers would be backed into any sort of situation where they have to actually release him as opposed to moving him for some draft capital. So I just think that right now it's combine time. you would have thought that the talks would have heated up a little bit more. They just seem to be kind of cool right now at this point, at least from what we're seeing. Tonight we're gonna go out. Let's see if we ear hustle on somebody else and hear something. But other than that, it's just been kind of slow right now, and I think that a lot of people are waiting for other shoes to drop before they make a decision on Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Like, is Russell Wilson going to move? Is Aaron Rodgers going to leave? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And when all those things shake out, then I think the picture becomes more clear for Jimmy Garoppolo, especially about where he can go and the feasible locations.
Yeah, I see it differently. The way I see it is Garoppolo and Don Yee, his agent, clearly want to dictate where they go. I mean, he's only been in good situations. There was a no-trade clause built into his contract. They want to dictate where he goes. They can't now. And by delaying the surgery, like, if this was a real issue, a serious issue, like, Lynch was like, this is minor. Like, you can have surgery, but it's not really required. If this was required, they would have done it already. The fact that they delayed it and still haven't done it, to me, is a very, very creative way of trying to take back the power, take back that ability to dictate where they go by Yee. It's smart. Essentially another no trade clause, because how are you going to trade for a guy who hasn't even had his shoulder surgery? I mean, it seems like it's tough. It really hurts his value. And to me, what Lynch his decision here is, do I take a conditional sixth and act like I lost the trade? Or do I wait and see if I can get more? Do I wait and see if this shakes out in my favor? And what I would say is just take the freaking sixth and get the cap space, because a third round pick, a fourth round pick is not going to really be the difference between the 49ers winning a Super Bowl and not winning a Super Bowl. The difference is that cap space. Get $25 million, not 17, because you released him and he couldn't pass his physical. That's what just trade him. Yeah. Take the sixth. But I don't think they will, man. And that's why they're starting to talk about, well, there might be a quarterback competition. They might keep him. Like, that is so freaking dumb. I'm so sorry. But if they bring him back and have a quarterback competition, that's a fireable offense. It's so the wrong move. What do you think? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want you to put words in your mouth.
No, you're good. I think that honestly, I think that's John just covering his bases at this point. I would think that that's a foolish way to do the things. Okay, yeah. And I think he's really just saying that is one of the possible outcomes. It is. It's not likely, and it's not high up on the likely meter. No. But by saying that, he can always go back to that quote and say, see, we said that. But as everything is fluid, everything's going to keep moving. I would not suspect that to be the case. I do not think that I mean, when you listen to John talk yesterday at the press conference, he said multiple times, Jimmy is still a part of this team currently, saying basically matter-of-factly, yes, he's still on this team, but he spoke talking about moving him the entire time. And I think that when he talked to Mayoko, when he gave out that quote, what he was doing was covering himself just in case things happen. And you're not one of speaking in definitive, in absolutes right now. And if, God forbid, that does come to fruition, then he can say, well, see, I told you, that this was happening. So I don't think that that's the plan. I don't think that that's something that's actually going to happen. But it is something that is in the range of outcomes at this point. And it still would be stupid. It would be dumb. It would be very dumb to do something like that.
What I think is happening is that John Lynch didn't see this coming. He basically said, I didn't think he was going to have surgery. And there's no doubt that going into free agency, about to have shoulder surgery, hurts his value for now. And I think what Lynch is trying to hope is that, well, what Lynch is thinking, and it's the mistake, is, okay, we'll hold on to Jimmy then. He's going to be okay in the summer. We'll showcase him in preseason, and he'll be fine. We'll get that fourth round pick. It doesn't matter. The difference between a fourth round pick and a sixth round pick is not going to be the reason you win the Super Bowl. Just get the freaking cap space and move on. But they won't. I guarantee you they're not going to trade him for a sixth. This is what they're going to do. They're going to hold on to him. They're going to drag this out just so they can get that fourth round pick, maybe, as if that freaking matters.
Well, I mean, from other people that have been saying is that the 49ers won at least 2 twos for him right now. And yeah, I don't know, man. That how feasible.
I'm telling you, if his value is a conditional sixth, freaking take it, John. Get the cap space. That's what you need. But no, he's not going to do it. He's going to hold him. He's going to wait. And he's going to say, yeah, we just want to show that he's healthy. Nah, man, it's a mistake. Get that cap space, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing too, right? Because of a lot of 49er fans are going to tell you, yeah, you want draft capital, but then they're going to look you right in the face and say, oh, well, it's crapshoot, right? It's crapshoot. Yeah, but get the money off the books.
Get the money off the books, John. Yeah. I'm talking directly to you. Do not hold on to Jimmy Garoppolo for another additional 3 or 4 months so you could turn a 6th round pick into a 4th round pick. That's silly, John. I'm looking at you, John. Cut him. I will cut him tomorrow. I would trade him. I would trade him to Carolina for that 6th tomorrow. There's nothing to wait for.
Dude, after that question, and them striking my my actual question from the record, I'm never gonna get credentialed for anything, bro. Like that's it ever.
Yeah, but you're a GOAT on this channel forever, so that's all that matters.
That's all
Nathan
that matters.
says, just play the kid, banana hands. Trey will make this offense open up and not be predictable with Jimmy. Kyle, you hear that? They're talking directly to you because they know you and Debo watch the show together
Absolutely.
in your offense. Grant, keep dropping F-bombs. It's hilarious. Jason, your press question with Lynch was great, and that jacket is swag. You guys are really great. Much love.
Appreciate you, man. I've been getting snaps on my jacket and my hair now because I cut it off.
You did cut it off, so you decided to cut it off, huh?
I did, man. I wanted to go full John B. It's doing really well for me out here.
I like it very much. I like when you have more on your beard than on your head. That's a real grown man move, man. I've never been able to pull that off because once I start growing a beard, there's like a huge swirl here, and it looks terrible. So I just got to stick with the stubble.
What you got to start doing is you got to start brushing it, and you got to use beard oil, bro, and you get that thing right out, bro.
For real?
I think so.
Oh my God, you just changed my life.
I'll recommend what I use, man. It's helped me out a bunch, man. I went from a guy who could only grow goatee to now I'm fighting women off with a stick.
Yes, thank you very much, man. I knew 34 was going to be my year. Yes. How old are you?
37.
So I got something to look forward to. Yes. All right, man. Go do your thing. And thank you so much for giving me a half hour. Man. That was great.
You're good, man. I would have talked for you for a little longer, but yeah, man.
I got nothing. Any more thoughts on your mind? I mean, you can talk about whatever you want.
No, I mean, at this point, it's just a lot of the discussions around everybody is just going to be about what they're doing at quarterback so they can figure things out. I mean, you know, I had a chance to meet all of the esteemed beat writers too as well. Had a conversation with Matt Miyoko, Jennifer Lee Chan.
Love Matt Miyoko.
Yep, met Kiana Martin, nicest woman I've ever met in my life.
Love Kiana.
Yeah. I met somebody else, but I have a controversial opinion.
What'd you think?
He's really nice, man. I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. He was super nice. He was super nice the entire time. We talked for a while. He said, I thought I recognized you. You know, we follow each other on Twitter and everything. He was super nice, man. I don't know what to say, bro. I really don't. I really don't. Hey, look.
Who cares?
I mean, I was just shocked, you know, like just based on initial thoughts and things like that. And I guess I let preconceived notions get into my mind, but he was a nice ass guy, man. We talked for a while. He was very, very open. So yeah. And also
for a while. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah. Got a chance to meet Matthew Berry, a few of the ESPN people over here. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Justina Anderson shushed Jordan and I at the press conference. That was
she
pretty
blocked
funny.
me on Twitter.
No way.
Yeah. She said something that I didn't understand. And I was like, what does this even mean? Or I said, could somebody translate this into English? And then she blocked me. I was like, all right, well, maybe I deserve that.
Well, she told me and Jordan to basically shut up while Cliff Kingsbury was talking. So
you should block her.
Nah,
I'm
man.
gonna block her. She's blocked.
She came over and just said, hey, you know, it's cool, whatever. And then like she dapped me up, like a strong dap too. I was like, oh damn.
Hey man, everyone's saying Calvin Austin just ran a 4.3.
Calvin Austin just ran a 4.3 and just has 40-inch vertical. I talked about him. He's what everybody wanted Trent Taylor to be, but faster and better.
Are the Niners gonna get him?
I hope so. He can be there at the 5th round, I think.
Damn.
And you know what else? You know what else he does, Grant?
Return.
He catches punts and he advances them.
Oh my God! They don't want that on this team though. That's not what they look for.
I couldn't believe it when I saw him at the Senior Bowl. I saw him catch a punt and then run, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what? He didn't fair catch that?
You can do that?
That's possible? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been on Calvin Austin since we've been here, man. He was routing dudes up in Mobile or whatever, but he had a 40-inch vertical, and if he ran a 4.3, oh man, like I said, he's everything that the 49er fans wanted from Trent Taylor, but better, way better, much better.
My takeaway from this show is that I've lost Jason to the light side now. He's friends with the spreadsheet. I don't even know if we can talk anymore. He's like, why are you so mean to this guy?
I just gotta be honest with you. I just gotta
be
honest.
I would say he's nice too. He's always here's the thing. I relentlessly attack him on Twitter.
You do.
And it's so juvenile. He never responds. And when he sees me in the press room, he's like, "Hi, Grant," and I'm like, "Hey, David."
Hey, again, I'm in no position. I'm in no position right now to be
nice. I just don't respect the way he covers the team at all. But nice guy for sure. Nice guy.
Very nice man. Very nice
dude for sure. Jason, go watch those 40s, man. It's important.
Well, man.
All right, man. See you guys. Thanks.